right. Hello, everyone. This is Jynnette The Oracle. Welcome to Oracle Talks. Today is December 5th, I believe. I am joining you here on both YouTube and on Instagram. So hello to everyone. As you come in, say hello. Let me know where you're joining from and what you might be sipping on. Today, I just have some water. Well, not just, but I have water. But yeah, hopefully everybody is doing well. I will give just a moment or so for folks to come in. Peace, Courtney. Lovely to see you. You're doing well. Blessings, blessings. It is a little bit dimmer today, as you can see. So apologies if the lighting is not that great, but we do actually, it is a bit overcast here in normally Southern California. So yeah, maybe we'll get a little bit of peek through later, but for now, this is going to be the vibe. So it's cool because it's chill and all of that. Yeah, folks coming in on YouTube, welcome, welcome. Please say hello. Let me know where you're joining from, what beverage you might be sipping on. Joining us from Charlotte, welcome, welcome, welcome. We got Lori from New Brunswick. Hey, Lori. We got Tamil in Texas, drinking water and espresso. Nice. So you're drinking them separately, or you have an Americano? Welcome, welcome. Awesome. Hey, folks on IG. It's good to see you. So I was actually just going to do, well, not just, I was going to do strictly like a week ahead. You'll be in Charlotte next week. Oh, nice. Well, maybe y'all can connect if y'all know each other. So I was planning on doing just a week ahead guidance for all signs, since we're in the first week of the month. And then it popped into my mind about this being in Aquarius, technically tomorrow, but we'll just say for today. So yeah, we'll do a Venus in Aquarius message for today. And Venus will be transiting in Aquarius from technically tomorrow, December 6th, through January 2nd, I believe. So about a month. And that's typical for Venus because, like Earth, it's close to the sun. So the transit time is about a month. So yeah, we'll do a Venus message. I haven't actually focused on a planet message for a little while, so I'm curious to see what comes through. But before that, I just want to see how everybody's doing. How are you feeling? How has life been? Are you feeling more settled and grounded in yourself? Or are you dealing with some frustrating things right now? Like, let me know what's popping. It's not just letting me know what's popping. It's also just as you bring things to the surface, positive, neutral, and negative, the messages that come through can more directly speak to what is on your heart, what is on your mind, what is on your spirit. So please do bring that to the forefront as well, especially if you really want to hear a word for yourself. Welcome, beauty health experts. Feeling great. Awesome. Great to hear it. Let's see, we got water, feeling good today, encouraged. Awesome. Awesome. Glad everybody's feeling good. I'm feeling good too. I'm really peaceful. My cycle is over, so energy is slowly starting to come back and normalize. So I'm happy about that. I'm really annoyed that the lighting over here on IG is not that great, and I'm trying to. Oh, that's a little better. Sorry about that, y'all, but I can't control the clouds. Alrighty, so quick announcements. As you may or may not know, depending on if you follow me on, have you following me on IG or YouTube or what have you, you look fab. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, beautiful health expert. So as you may or may not know, the enrollment for the next cohort of the Lightworker Incubator officially opened. So I invite you to come in if it's something that has been on your heart and in your spirit to come through. Usually most people I see tend to prefer coming in for the winter cohort. So, I had to have you come through if you're feeling it for this time around. But yeah, if you don't know what the Lightworker Incubator is, it is a program that I actually received as not only an assignment, but also like a download, both a download and an assignment back in 2019, I believe it was. And it was essentially, the purpose was to provide a container for people to be able to accelerate their energetic ascension, to be able to reclaim their own soul power, and essentially get the tools to be able to make the spiritual practical in their lives, to embody more of their true nature here on earth, and ultimately serve the collective ascension of mankind and bring an embodied heaven earth experience. And so to that purpose, the program was designed in such a way where I essentially was guided to build a framework and distill the vast experience that I had over, at that point, 2 decades of training and development and initiations and learnings and all that sort of thing, in such a way that, is relatively easily accessible to people, so that they can have direct experience for themselves and go through that process fast without the same amount of time spent in trial and error, and to have that be a safe space to do so. So if you are someone that has, just started your spiritual journey, are feeling the call of your spirit, or possibly also like starting to have what I might call ascension symptoms, maybe your dreams are becoming much more active, your ancestors are showing up, you are having more communication with spirits, you're seeing more nature spirits, things like that starting to pop up, and you're like, okay, I want to, on one hand, like get some level of control, because I just don't want to be, at effect to those things, but also want to be able to explore and expand, and again, reclaim more of my power, so that not only I'm showing up more powerfully in this, but also showing up powerfully here in my life. If you've been with me for a while, you know that I say that, our humanity is just as important as our soul nature, and it's not one or the other. Both are important. And your human side of things, the physical world, doesn't get discarded. We're not here to be martyrs. That's not, at least for most of us anyway, that's not the assignment in this life. That's not what we're here for, especially coming into the Aquarian age. So it's just a different vibe. But 6-month program, like I said, small group coaching. So, it's not like hundreds of people. It's small group, just a handful of people. And we're together for 6 months, going through this process of giving you the opportunity to explore and expand, see what works for you, and eventually leave with tools that can help you to continue to expand and grow further. So if that's something that you're interested in, I highly, highly, highly recommend that you read more about the program on the website. I have the link in the description on YouTube. If you're an ID, find out at the link in my bio, but go to my website under the group program section for the Anderson Alchemy, for Lightworker Incubator, and then you'll be able to read up on all the details there, including, of course, program schedule, all the dates, the topics, as well as price and everything, and submit your application. And I'll be reviewing the application. Of course, if you want to connect and have like a call or something, or if you have more questions, like we'll discuss that over email. But we will be kicking off in January. So you only have literally 2 weeks left for the enrollment period, because the last day for enrollment in the first payments is December 19th. So 2 Thursdays from now. So please come through, check it out. If you have questions, feel free to email me or comment below. I'm more than happy to answer questions about it. But I can promise you it will be worth it. And if you happen to know anyone who's gone through the program and that is an alumni, feel free to hit them up and be like, what's the deal? and get honest opinions. You don't have to take my word for it, you can take theirs. I do also have testimonials on the page as well. But yeah, I would love to have you there. Come join me and others for the next cohort. of the incubator, and get yourself support, especially for the first part of next year, because we are going to be having lots of cycle changes. Planets are shifting signs, the outer planets. Of course, we have the nodes changing signs. Obviously, we have other things happening in the physical world that's on. So there's a lot of change happening, and I think that this particular cohort will be really good for helping to stabilize during that transition, as well as empower and set the tone for how we're choosing to move forward. So that is that. Anybody have any questions about the program right now that I can answer? Let's see. Lori is feeling grounded and settled. Just returned from London. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Hope that trip was nice. I haven't been to London. I haven't felt the call there, but it does look like a beautiful city. But any questions about that? About the light incubator? Another announcement to give people time to type if you do have questions. Inner will be on break for the Capricorn season. So there won't be, be here online doing Oracle talks or anything else on social media. However, of course, the Lightwork Incubator program and the alumni program will still continue. I just won't be doing anything beyond that. However, newsletter will send out the astrology for January, as well as info on the upcoming channeling events, and also new sessions will be available to book. So definitely make sure you are subscribed to the newsletter. If you're subscribed to the newsletter, please make sure that you add my email, info@innersynalchemy.com, to your contact list so that you actually get them to your inbox. With a lot of the roles that have been going on recently, with like email and privacy and all that kind of stuff, the newsletter might be going to promotion or spam folder. So just make sure that you've added that. That way it comes to your inbox in case you haven't been seeing my emails. So I don't see any questions. I think we're good. But yeah, so those are the two main announcements. Enrollment is open for the Lightworker Incubator, and we're going on winter break. There's not going to be going on winter break, starting with the winter solstice. Okay, but the incubator and the alumni will continue within that. All right. Cool. Welcome to the folks coming in on IG. As you join, please say hello. Let us know where you're joining from and what beverage, if any, you are sipping on. And welcome to the folks on YouTube as well. All right, let's start with our opening. We'll do a short opening meditation. So go ahead and sit up nice and tall. You can close your eyes if you want. If not, you can have your eyes open, but pick a point about 4 to 6 feet in front of you to focus on. And have palms up in a receptive state. And begin to deepen your breath. And as you concentrate on your deep breathing, bring all of your conscious awareness, subconscious awareness, and unconscious awareness to this present moment. Pull in any of your energy that may be projecting into the future or the past. Detaching from the stream of time for just a moment. And embracing the eternal now. And of course, time, space still moves, still alive. But what we are doing intentionally is tapping into and bringing to the forefront of our awareness our eternal divinity, our divine nature that is timeless, this divine awareness that is present regardless of the forms we've taken, the experiences we've had, the external circumstances we've perceived. This divinity is like a steady flame, a star, an enduring fire. This both cool and warm divinity bathes our human soul in a golden and celestial white light. And so in this moment, I invite you to consent to receive your own divinity into the far reaches of your mind, the depths of your soul, your unconsciousness, subconsciousness, and consciousness. Your emotional body, your physical body, your heart, and your soul desire, not only in this human incarnation, but all expressions, aspects of your soul. Continuing to breathe here. The breath holds the intention of integration. Holds the paradox of both your limited human self and your unlimited divinity. and allow your human soul, your mind, your heart, your body to rest in this enduring divine container. And in the sacred space, we give ourselves permission to bring our hopes, our fears, our dreams and desires, our frustrations and grief, the full multifaceted glory that is our human soul. To the altar of our own divinity. And as we seek to receive guidance and messages, words of encouragement that will help to keep us aligned with our highest ascension timeline, our highest trajectory, our fullest expression and experience. We request the protection of our beneficial ancestors on earth and in heaven, our personal angels and protectors, those ascended masters, healers, teachers, and guides who serve the ascension of the souls of humanity, as well as the archangels of light. We set up this sacred container of protection around each of us individually, whether watching live or on the recording. Please neutralize, cancel, clear, and delete any and all malevolent energies. And please purify, sanctify, and divinitize our energy body at all of our human soul dimensions. And I call in the power and the presence of the Holy Spirit to raise our collective vibration, strengthening and amplifying it so that we tune to harmonize with and integrate fully with our divine human self. Help us to align fully with ourselves. And please guide these messages and let them speak to the hearts, minds, and souls of all who are listening. All right, how's everyone feeling now? Let me know in the comments. You can put hearts or wave if you don't want to type. It's all good. Hopefully you're feeling all that yiness. Let me plug in my computer. See some hearts over on IG. That's good. Welcome to all the folks who have come in on IG. Please know, well, please say hello first off when you enter the space, and let us know where in the world you're joining from and what beverage, if any, you're sipping on. Courtney is feeling relaxed. Lovely. Get a card for the Holy Spirit right now. Okay. Everybody good? We ready to get going? All right, so let me get the cards out for the signs. Everybody has every sign in their chart. I recommend listening to all signs, because if you want to get a picture of guidance for yourself for all I'm trying to come back. For all aspects of life, it's best to really pay attention to all signs. But if you are on a time crunch, you don't want to engage with all of that, then you can listen to rising sign, sun sign, moon sign, and node sign, and definitely Venus sign. I mean, listen to Aquarius regardless, because it's Venus in Aquarius, but also listen to whatever your Venus sign is as well. All right. So again, the intention for these cards, for these messages, is to get guidance for this particular transit. Actually, before I get the cards out, let me get the message about what this is. One moment. So let's actually get the message about what this cycle is, what the focus is, beyond just the more specificity, because this thing aligned with our highest trajectory path. I do want to get into what this is referring to. Within that, so that we have a little bit more focus, or yeah, everybody has more focus for this. And I'll tell you what the cards are. Just one last card, please. Okay. So King of Pentacles is the area of focus. Then we have the Libra card, the adjustment card in this deck, also Justice. Three of Pentacles, Eight of Swords, and then the Strength card. Like everything is just adjusted, like my ears just popped as I yawned as well too. Okay, so this is gonna be a channel. Bottom of the deck is the Emperor. So this King of Earth is an interesting card in this deck. I'll show it a little bit closer here so you can see. Because in this deck, the kings are knights and the knights are princes. But basically the kings as knights are kings in motion, right? They are taking action. They're not like right on the deck, they're not stationary, just sitting on a throne. That was a large snack. But they also, this particular king has a shield, and it's both defending and protecting. But there is also an aspect of projection or sending out of sound. You can see like the sound waves there. So that could be sound coming to, being buffered against, or sound being projected out. The word that I'm hearing now, as I say, is influence. Okay, so this could be, again, related to influence that you are receiving and influence that you are cultivating in the world around you or around us. Another thing that I'm noticing here too with the image is that the fields in the background on the hills appear to be more so barren, or at the very least harvested. And what's right behind the shield is full. Show it here closer for you guys on YouTube. Okay. What I was initially picking up with that is a sense of protecting the grain, protecting what has been planted, protecting the harvest. Okay, so influence is the word though. Justice card here is the action for us to take. And Three of Pentacles is how we're being supported. Adriana says, blessings to you. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Because we're dealing with, or this is the outcome, this swords, and the strength card here is in the center, is the heart of the matter. Yeah, this influence and protection is strong. And the protection piece, I'm not feeling like it's a protection of us. It's a protection of, again, what has already been planted, what is already in the process of being harvested, that which is good and sustainable for life. we have that power of influence. One moment. Interesting. Okay, so what just came through on this card is that it's up to us to tip the scales of balance. Excuse me. It's up to us to tip the scales. It's up to us to tip the scales. Courtney says boundaries. Yes. Welcome folks coming in. It's up to us to tip the scales, and we are supported with that. We're in that process. We've got to keep this out. This is also Jupiter in Gemini, which is the cycle that we're currently in. Excuse me. We won't be shifting into Jupiter in Cancer until next year. So obviously this is not a nice card. This talks about actual interference. But ultimately we have to have the courage to do so, to tip the scales of balance. So and this is both in the spiritual as well as in the physical. Okay. So let's get into the messages for each of the signs then. Oh, folks coming in, welcome. As you join, please say hello and let us know where in the US or around the world you're joining from, whether you're joining on IG or on YouTube. And if you're sipping on any beverage, let us know. So for this Venus in Aquarius cycle, this is going to be where we tip the balance in favor of the light for each of the signs. Again, you can listen to all of the signs or just your rising sun, moon, north node, and Venus. Let's see, Adrian is joining from Madison. Welcome. Welcome. We've got Charisse in from Inglewood. Oh, on Inglewood. Just finished your dark roast and on to water for the day. Nice. Coffee in the house. Having some matcha later. Not right now, though. And of course, when I'm done, I will do live stamps. For those of you who are here on IG watching, I definitely recommend going to YouTube after the live is done if you want to be able to jump to particular signs, because I will update the timestamps there in the description. Unfortunately, we're not able to jump around like we used to here on IG, which is really annoying. We used to be able to move back and forth on longer reels, but they took that away. So it's only for the short reels. So that's why I don't do the timestamps on IG descriptions anymore. Just have to go to YouTube. But that's cool. Just go to the link in my bio, and click on the YouTube icon and get to the channel there. And obviously subscribe to the channel because these social media platforms are not loyal. So if anything ever happens to IG, I'll definitely be on YouTube for sure. Let's see, we have Claire joining from North Carolina with water. Nice. Gonna be sipping on a latte soon. Also nice. All right, one more card and we will get into these signs. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Blessings to all who are joining. Since we do have so many people joining in, I will do this real quick while I get this last card out. The enrollment period for the next cohort of the Lightworker Incubator is open now. So you have 2 weeks left to join. So you can go to our website under group programs for the Lightworker Incubator. Learn about the program, what all is covered, the schedule, pricing, all of that. But you know, I've been running this program now for several years, and it is always a good time and always beautiful to watch people flower as they reclaim their soul power. So yes. So we got Shelly in water, coming from Los Angeles. Welcome, welcome. Hello, Jamar. Thank you for joining. It says, as an alumni, do it. Thank you. It's in all caps. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And yeah, if any of y'all know alumni, definitely ask, or you can read Pearl's website as well. I have those on the website too. But yeah, it is some work, but it is good. Last card, please, Spirit. Winter break will be coming up for Innocent Alchemy soon as well too, starting on the winter solstice. So yeah, Cherise says, I wanted to ask if the alumni is still open. Yes, it is. The alumni group is always open. So you can sign up at any time. If you also go to the website under the group programs, see the link there for the alumni specifically. You can sign up. And the alumni group and the Lightworker Incubator will continue even during the break. I just won't be doing other stuff during the break. Finally. Last card out. All right. All righty. And then if folks have questions about the incubator, put them in the chat and I can answer them at the end, or you feel free to shoot me an email or the contact form on my website, whatever works for you. And of course we can do a jump on the Zoom call as well if needed. Okay, so let's get into these messages. Aries, you are first. So wherever you have Aries in your natal chart, or if it's one of your, rising sun, moon, north node, Venus, whatever, or if you, again, just want to watch all the signs. Aries has the Queen of Wands, which is literally Aries, actually. It's moon in Aries, but it's cardinal, so. So in terms of influence and shifting the balance to the light for the Venus in Aquarius transit. Again, for folks who are coming in, Venus in Aquarius is transiting essentially tomorrow, December 6th through January 2nd. It's about a month. Welcome to folks coming in on IG. So this is definitely a card about spiritual power. It can also relate to charm. Whether that is, you know, a physical beauty thing or personal style or, you know, wit, humor, things like that. It's just, it's charm and influence. Interesting energy for Aries. So I don't know if this is necessarily a problem or an issue for Aries, but essentially it's like, you know, take up space. Like you don't have to, um, you don't have to dim your light in any way, shape, or form. This energy isn't one of like, you know, being aggressive or oppressive to other people. It really is just you have a lot of power and influence naturally, and it's important to sit in that and embody that and use that to the advantage again of holding the light. So examples of what that could look like in relationships. If you like, whether, you know, romantic relationships, friendships, or what have you, if you want them to continue to be healed, whole, fulfilling, etc., your job is to hold that light, to be that, to influence that, to suggest certain things that support the cultivation of that. Okay, it's not that you have to make someone do it or convince them that they should. Like this isn't a convincing energy. Is that you, whatever you're bringing up, you make it seem so appealing that someone wants to do it, or that you're more likely to get a yes, to get a cosign on that thing. So that's important in general. I mean, I think everybody should take that message regardless, because we are still in the last month of, actually not even, is it a full month? Yeah, it might be about a month left of the North Node in Aries. I think this is good regardless. Everyone, especially if you have Aries in one of those key aspects of your chart, have a stellar in Aries, this is important. And I know I gave the example about relationships, but regardless of whether or not people want to join you in that light, in that positive influence, in that expansion, creativity, joy, hope, what have you, you still show up regardless. Like the Queen of Wands is not one who is about to get off the throne or about to act out of alignment with who they are. They're just not. Right? It's like, you can join me and I can, you know, use my charm to kind of influence you to not suffer essentially in the dark. But if that's what you choose, that's fine. I'm not going to join you there though, right? That's what this says. I'm going to remain in my power. I'm going to remain in light. I'm going to remain in this pillar of strength. Libra wouldn't necessarily do that. Libra will want to be like, okay, let's try to balance you out. That's not Aries' game. So that's for you, Aries. I like it. Use your charm to influence, but regardless of whether or not, you know, people take action in the way that you would prefer, stand your ground in your light. Because that light in and of itself is also an influence. Okay. Taurus. You have it. So in regards to influence and protection and tipping the scales in favor of the light. So I'm hearing the word preservation. Okay, there's a lot coming through. Let me first get spiritual guidance, and then we'll go to physical. So for Taurus energy, this preservation or protection of the lights of the souls of humanity is part of your work. Yeah, which makes sense because of the messages that were coming through about light worker roles in heaven. Yeah, like that work of helping souls that might be lost or whatever in the astral realm be able to essentially get back into that process of incarnation, reincarnation. And part of that has to do with like going through your life review, reconnecting, healing, and just like there's a whole process with that. Yeah, the spiritual work, in particular, if you have a Taurus as your rising sign, this is important. And it might not seem like it, but understand that part of what keeps the dark prevalent or able to sustain itself is essentially souls not being able to cycle the way they normally would with incarnation and going back into the spirit realm. So when they stay bogged down, it bogs down essentially the astral realm. They don't continue to elevate and evolve. They don't continue to express more and more energy. There's less and less light, being expressed through the soul body. It does actually make a big difference. So that's important work. So putting that out there for folks. Again, even if you don't have Taurus as a rising sign, but if it's a prominent feature or wherever Taurus might be in your chart, that's an important part of the work. Is protecting the lights and supporting them and being able to transition and get back into either that wheel of reincarnation, or if they're supposed to ascend out of the process, helping them. And in particular, if there are lost souls, helping to find those lost souls and help them to fully complete their crossing over process. Okay. In the physical, this is talking about, so the way to basically like tip the scales in the balance for the light in the physical world, regardless of context, relationships, jobs, what have you, is to preserve that which is invaluable and to not be thrown off by distractions, right? So whatever the, you know, the next shiny new thing is, or even if a lot of people are doing things a certain way or what have you, your job really is to focus on that which is a tried and true. Oh, for folks on YouTube, let me know how Wi-Fi is over there, because it's looking like it's kind of in and out. So let me know. I noticed the last video was kind of all over the place. It's been, y'all know Mercury retrograde. It's only been happening because of Mercury retrograde. So I apologize if it is kind of not great there. But yeah, so Taurus in the physical world, again, regardless of context, your job is to hold true to that value and to remind people of that which is valuable, and to not be swayed by the distractions, not be not be distracted by the shiny new things, and to keep going forward on the goal. Keep going forward with that which works, that which has lasted the test of time, that which remains true, regardless of the bells and whistles, regardless of the shiny new things. Okay, that's your job, because that's the thing that will actually stay and hold true. That's what actually holds stability. The direction actually is the dark. All right. Moving on, Gemini. You have the Knight of Wands, which in this deck is called Prince of Wands. And this is Sagittarius, which we are in Sagittarius season right now. Welcome to folks who are coming on IG. Please say hello to everybody. Let know where in the world you're joining from and what beverage, if any, you are sipping on. Welcome to the new folks who are joining on YouTube as well. Same thing to you. All right, Gemini. Ways to influence and protect the scales in favor of the light. So it seems somewhat similar to the Aries message, but the difference is where the Aries is a little bit more within oneself and it's kind of using charm, which is like a yin activity. The Gemini vibe is more active, it's more yang in its approach. And this is, it's almost like spreading the good news, proselytizing almost in a way. This could be educating, this could be using yourself as a model for certain things. Yeah, but it's very active. It's very I'm gonna go do the thing. I'm gonna go show the thing. Very young. I mean, I guess I shouldn't be too surprised, but I mean, it is a Sagittarian card, and it's very Sagittarian energy. This feels more so like how Sagittarius feels to me, rather than how Gemini typically feels. At least in my experience, but yeah, this is not an energy about hiding in any way, shape, or form. It's a very active form. I want to get some additional clarification on this though. I have 5 of Wands with the High Priest and the Sun card at the bottom. Yeah, it might be a little confrontational, but it's necessary. And again, this is in the spirit or in the physical. But the Gemini energy is like you have to show up. You have to show up with your light. You have to show up with the possibilities of what can be better. Now, for some, it might be maybe you do this fine when it relates to other people, situations, and things. But when it comes to yourself, it might not be as strong. And you need to keep that same energy for your own self. Because maybe you're not fighting as hard as you need to be for your own well-being. Okay, maybe you need to be standing 10 toes down about how you need to be taking care of yourself, or how you need to be advocating for boundaries at work, or how you need to be communicating better in your relationships. It could be that. So it's not exclusive to making a change in the outside world, whether it's the outside physical world or in the spiritual world. It is also with self. So it's always both and, it's not either or. So wherever one side is getting a lot more attention, this message is bring that same energy to the other side of things. So if the focus has been more so on you and you are good, then that means you need to bring that same energy to the outside world, to the spiritual world. If it's the opposite, then, you do the opposite. But there's an aspect, it's one of these areas, it's not both, it's on one of these areas that is not actually getting that same level of light, energy, passion, courage, hope, joy, expansion, and abundance. And so wherever that is, that's what needs this light. This is actually going to take the skill and support you aligning with your highest timeline, your highest ascension timeline, your highest trajectory path, as well as help the collective. Because as we help ourselves, we help the collective. And as we help the collective, we help ourselves. It's always intertwined. My Sag moon is chuckling behind my Gemini rising. Nice. All righty. Cancer. My Cancer's at. We have 2 of Wands. 2 of Wands for Cancer. Let me get it. It's another Mars card, but this is Mars and Aries. Got a lot of fire in these first 4 signs. So again, if you have Cancer, Sun, rising, Moon, North Node, or Venus, or wherever Cancer is in the chart. So areas of ways to influence and protect that tip the scales in favor of the light during this Venus and Aquarius transit. This is feeling more so like expansion. An expansion of one's, it feels like an expansion of one's own light. Okay, so we got Hangman, Eight of Pentacles, Empress, with Two of Pentacles on the bottom. And these as clarifiers, so that Two of Wands. Yeah, it really is that, because the Hangman is sacred pause. It can also talk about a shift in perspective, so that insights can happen, etc. But the Eight of Pentacles is about putting in work and being diligent about putting in that work to embody this Empress energy, which is this empowered energy. The Empress, of course, as I tend to interpret it, is the culmination or the full integration of all of the queens of the elements. So the Queen of Fire, the Queen of Water, the Queen of Earth, and the Queen of Air. Having this Two of Pentacles, because this usually talks to me about Two of Wands and Two of Pentacles can talk about potentially decisions to make, like what path you're going to take, etc. Two of Pentacles more so can be about a change in the material world. It talks about that transition. So it's almost like, well, I mean, Cancer is a yin sign, so it makes sense that this is more of a yin message. But that the work to align with that highest path and to help influence and protect and to tip the scale toward more light is this embodying of more light within the self, both in the spiritual but also in the physical. And that's, even though the cards are not necessarily like showing this energy, well, actually that's not true. It is. It's almost like being this pillar of light, and actually it's tree energy too. So we have this pillar or this tree here with the Hangman. And then we have this pillar or tree really with the Eight of Pentacles. And then you see the forest and a prominent tree there in the back for the Empress. So the wisdom of the tree, that they, even if they're young trees, they are around for a very long time. And they are steady in their power and their beingness, regardless of the changing of cycles. Courtney says, Cancer, Sun, this makes sense to me. Awesome. Yeah, it makes sense to me. Me too. Wasn't sure if this was like specific to me or if it was like all Cancer, I guess. It's interesting because with Cancers, there can be such a focus on cycles because obviously we rule that rules the moon. But there can be too much of a focus on that and not enough of a focus or a lived experience or reality of your essential timelessness or unchanging nature, like the tree, is present regardless of the circumstances, regardless of high tide or low tide. And so this embodying of more light, increasing light, and or staying in your power, however that's going to look like for you. It's not anything outside of self. Excuse me. Welcome, folks coming in on IG and on YouTube. It's not something outside of self. It is internal work. Okay. Obviously, everybody has responsibilities that they have to do. And, you know, your job is to do that with integrity, but the work is you. And life is just going to be what life is going to be. But this increasing of your own self, your own power, your own divinity, your own expression is the work. Because ultimately, this Empress energy is your nature. Your nature is yin by default. So things are to come to you. You make yourself available to things, right? You position yourself as best as possible for those things to come to you, but things are to come to you. So in the spirit in particular, this is about strengthening your own pillar of light. Is unchanging regardless of circumstances. And this is very important, especially as we go through all the transition that we're going through in the physical. So yeah, it is a holding of the light. Beautiful. Moving on. Leo. You have 5 of Swords. Okay, so if you have Leo, rising, sun, moon, north node, or Venus, this is for you. You're welcome. Or wherever Leo is in the chart. Five of Swords. Now, this literally is Venus in Aquarius, but 5 of Swords is, I mean, it's not a nice card. I don't necessarily mind it because often it's talking about doing whatever you need to do in order to win. And I think people in the light need to have more of that energy, to be honest. So yeah, it is also a bit strategic as well too, because in the traditional Rider-Waite deck, you'll see an image of somebody holding a couple of swords, and there's like 2 people in the background who like just finished a fight or whatever, and then their swords are on the ground. And one of the things coming through with imagery right now is that being the person who notices a fight happening and swoops in to take advantage of that distraction to gather tools, resources, information, etc. Shelley says, people might definitely need more of that energy. Yes. Right. So that's the vibe I'm getting with that. I love that energy. It's like noticing where there seems to be apparent chaos, distraction, conflict, and looking for the treasure, looking for the good, looking for the intel, looking for the resources, looking for whatever that can benefit the work of the light. Again, in the spiritual as well as in the physical. So in the physical, you know, at work, it could be a situation where you see a conflict going down between some coworkers, or this might even just be like gossip or what have you. You might also be privy to information because you people over talking, or maybe somebody is confiding in you. You can use that information to your benefit. You know, whatever circumstances are. You know, it might be a situation where you're like, oh, if that conversation happens, that means that some layoffs are gonna like start happening. So I'm gonna start preparing to move. Or it could be you realizing that someone's about to bounce. So I'm going to put myself in a position to get that promotion. Whatever, right? So yeah. This is a card about seeing what looks to be apparent losses as wins. Okay. Seeing rejection as protection and or redirection. Gather the good, gather the light from what appears to be not good and make use of it. Short, sweet. Moving on. Virgo. Virgo has High Priestess. It's closer so you can see. Shelley says rejection is such a gift. Yes, it doesn't necessarily feel that way in the process. I will say this, I don't like hearing no. For most of the time, unless like my spirit tells me that it's about to be some shenanigans, then I'm grateful for it no. But you know, if I want something and I get told no, I don't necessarily like that. But you know, ultimately it does end up being a gift because it does leave you open for that, which is better. Welcome to folks coming in. As you join, please say hello to everybody and let us know where in the world you're joining from and what beverage, if any, you are sipping on. So Virgo, as it relates to ways to influence and protect in order to tip the scales in favor of the light. High Priestess. And remember, you want to look at your rising sun, moon, north node, Venus sign, or wherever Virgo is in the chart. Now, it is expressly a spiritual card, but like on a very simple level, it's the new moon as well as intuition. And it also represents hidden knowledge or secrets that are available to be known. Interesting. Okay, so there's this vibe that's coming through about Virgo's ability to see what's really going on behind the surface. You can really see the truth of the matter. This is an important skill to have because this is actually kind of similar to the Taurus message, because obviously Taurus got Virgo. But it's similar in that where Taurus is being told, to keep the valuable thing valuable and not distraction, keep you from what you need to focus on. This is similar in that regard. Although it's not protecting anything in particular per se, but it's more so making decisions from that space of seeing things for what they are, even though it might not make sense to other people or might not be how the crowd is moving. You know what's up. Now, obviously, this is a skill that's really important in the spirit. If you do any type of energy work or work in the spirit, in the rooms, being able to read energy and to be able to discern and perceive that which actually is good in the light versus that which is cosplaying as that is really important. You need a real strong bullshit meter. Someone who has a Virgo stellium, I do. So this is definitely one of my strong points. Being able to see and call out mess that might not necessarily be picked up by other folks. Because I don't take things on the surface. I'm really good about asking clarifying questions and getting to the heart of the matter. So that is a superpower that Virgo has. So in the spirit, definitely be using that, especially if you're a Virgo rising. But in the physical too, especially in your own life, like trust your intuition, trust what you are picking up in your spirit. Your soul, your spirit knows what it's doing, and it is always communicating to you about what you are encountering. In general, Virgo does not make fast or rash decisions for the most part. So, you take your time and you decide, yes or no on this thing, yes or no on the potential opportunity, yes or no on this person, this relationship, what have you, based off of what you see in the spirit. This helps to curve the dark. Because there are wiles, the way that they might try to trick you, whatever that's going to be, okay, whether in the spirit or people playing in your face. This is how you curve the dark. Okay. Hope that helps. All right. Libra. We have the Four of Cups for you, which is Moon in Cancer. Libra. So ways to influence and protect in order to tip the scales in favor of the light. All right, this is gonna be a petty message. I love y'all, Libra. I have a couple planets in Libra, so I get it. But this is a card about emotional equanimity, but also can talk about apathy. But we're going to take the positive side of this. So emotional equanimity, emotional independence, emotional autonomy, right? Because fours are about power and sovereignty and autonomy. This is important, again, both in the spirit, with work that you're doing in this, as well as in your physical life. to stay in your lane and let people do what people are going to do. Let people feel what they're going to feel. Let them make mistakes. Let them jump off the deep end if they're going to. Keep it clear. I get some more messages, y'all, because it's feeling like a read. And it's not even so much, I guess, that Libras get emotionally entangled, but it's more so that compulsion to achieve balance and harmony and seek to strive to work to have that happen. Which again, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but that's not what this conversation is about. I almost feel like because there may or may not have been as much of a focus on self, your dreams, your visions, your goals, what you are inspired or called to create, whether in the spirit or in the physical, is that energy, those resources, that light is instead being used by the dark. And it may feel or may be perceived as selfish within yourself, not necessarily to others. 10 of Wands, burden with the King of Pentacles. What is going on with the Libra folks? Yeah, it's just this burdening, there's burdening of your own self, your own light, your own resources with other people's stuff. And like that has to stop. I'm surprised about this message. Anybody here with any like of those primary Libra placements or the rising sun, moon, or Venus that this resonates with? I don't remember what the last Libra message was like, just in general, not the message, but let's see. Rusty says Libra moon here. Okay, so is that resonating for you? I really have a lot of Libra folks in my life, so most people are Aquarians, Sagittarius. So I mean, I understand. I just understand like why this is popping up right now, especially since the South Node has been in the sign of Libra. I feel like it's like this has been part of the South Node specifically is about the release of those things that are hindrances to the self. Also areas that are available for healing, so you can step into more of your fullness and wholeness. So wherever Libra is in a chart, that's been happening, but especially obviously Libra rising sun and moon folks had the South Node doing this type of deep excavation work. But, you know, but I guess similar to how Aries got the Queen of Wands and had a message that was similar to its own nature, I guess this is still coming up for y'all. Now, it might be a situation where you have already been doing this and being to continue it. Like it's not like this needs to be the normal. Maybe that needs to be the message. To continue on in that process. So let's see. Adriana says, feel like you're talking to me. Courtney says, I have Libra family and I can see there's a trying to control others' fate getting in the way and causing themselves grief. Yeah, that's what this is feeling like. That 10 of Wands came out really, really strong when it popped up. And that's the thing, is like it's well-meaning by Libra. On the positive side, on the negative side, it is basic control. Cancers can behave in this way too, but it comes across as more like emotional entanglement and passive aggressive behavior, whereas Libra as an air sign is like, you know, here's this idea, this is what I think you should do. It's more mental, but the behavior is the same. So yeah, it's just, it burdens you, it dims your light. So if you, for Libra folks, or wherever this is, you know, however this is speaking to you, in order to tip the scales of balance to more light and influence and be this, yeah, you really gotta stay in your lane and mind your business and let people live their life. You are the sign that is associated with justice and karma, but you're associated with it. You are not the thing itself. So you can't then be an obstruction by trying to take on 10 of Wands or subvert the consequences that would naturally be happening for people, positive, neutral, or negative. Because you could also be trying to like get what they have too. Because Libra can also do that. Okay, I'll leave that alone. Scorpio. You have the Magician. Hold this card close so you can see. It's an interesting energy for Scorpio. But like I always say, Scorpio, I consider to be the most powerful sign of the Zodiac. And essentially whatever you say goes, for better or for worse. What you allow continues. when you set your mind to do something, you do it. Like, you really do hold a lot of power. You do have a lot of influence. So the mission is to remind you of that, to reaffirm that power, and that it's important for you to hold that intention to do that work. Creativity, joy, hope, abundance, community building, relationships, all those things are things that tip the scale and balance for the light. And you can have the power to do that. So yeah, it's just reaffirming that for you, in case you needed that reminder or the encouragement. There really is nothing to stand in your way. Obstacles are just obstacles. But there's really nothing to stand in the way. Meaning, like, it's not like the dark. And obstacles aren't the dark, they're just obstacles. They help you grow. Resistance is not the in the spirit too, you also hold a lot of light. You might not necessarily be used to the light per se, especially because of the associations that happen with Scorpio. And again, it's not a either or, it is a both and. So this is also a reminder that as much and as comfortable as you are with the hidden, the sexual, all the things that are associated typically with Scorpio, you also have that same fullness with everything associated with the quote unquote light. So lean into that as well. Okay. Regardless of whether or not you are comfortable with it, it's irrelevant. It's all of you. It's almost a dual energy, similar to Gemini or even Cancer. I mean, Cancer obviously like holds the dual. But yeah, you do both. Okay. Sagittarius, moving right along, almost done. 5 of Wands. And again, this is the ways to influence, protect, in order to tip the light, tip the scales of justice towards light. This feeling very specifically like protection. Like that you are protecting the 4 of Wands behind there, which would be like the temple or that which is sacred or the light. So this could be obviously a protection of your own spirit, your own hope and joy, and fighting for that fiercely, like not letting yourself, fall into a negative mental spiral, a negative emotional spiral, and all of that. Fighting to protect that which is good and right in your life, your relationships, at your job, protecting your peace. Like that's very much this vibe. And then in the spirit, for spiritual work, this is protecting, again, those places or area or people that be protected. So this could be earth guarding work, poor work, grid work, angelic work, whatever. Okay. But it's very clear and very strong. It's protection. Similar to Taurus, but this card for Taurus is more about like seeking and finding and moving to a protected place, whereas this is protection, period. Protection of the sacred space. Protection of pillars of light. Protecting the temple, right? Protecting those that do good. So some examples in the physical, this could be maybe you work as a lawyer. So part of your work might be doing pro bono work for those who might not be able to afford, or you could be protecting others financially. Maybe you are well resourced financially, and you have folks in your community that need help, and you're like, here, got you, right? It could be the protection of sacred sites from over-tourism, or entitled spiritual folks who are subverting indigenous stewardship. All right, there's a lot of ways that can look like. All right, Capricorn. Ace of Pentacles. So, Capricorn with our energy, I love it. Did Capricorn get Ace of Pentacles recently in that galactic message? Or the message before that? I'll go back and look. So ways in which I'll influence and protect. Let's get the scales. I mean, Ace of Pentacles is always like a seed to me. It's not pine trees that have, there's a different type of tree that drops those seeds, and they look like the seed is on one end, but it has like almost like a wing attached to it. I forgot what type of tree that is. It might be oak. There are a lot of those in Florida. So what is, oh, you know what? I actually just realized in the card that that is a cross section of a tree stump. Oh, maple trees? That's what those seeds look like? Oh. Okay, I'll have to research that and take a look. But yes, I've never actually noticed that this part that's underneath the actual disc is the cross section of a tree stump. Literally never noticed that. Okay. I also find it's interesting that this talk about the trees is coming up because obviously Cancer and Capricorn are on the same axis, and then the tree stuff was coming up with Cancer. So there's definitely a propagation aspect to that, but let me get some clarifiers. Ace of Wands, of Cups, Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, propagation. Okay, so on the spiritual side of things, one second. Well, this is both for spirit and physical. So there is wisdom and understanding for knowing what to build, how to build, where to build for success. Because there is wisdom and knowledge of experience, time, etc. Looking at trends, understanding how things work. So there is a lot of wisdom and expertise in essentially knowing where to plant seeds, knowing where to propagate, or essentially like expand what is already good or to start something new. There's clarity about what environments are actually conducive for growth, where progress can actually be made. Rather than where folks may be busy, right? But where progress can actually be made. All that wisdom comes through, or that information, the ability to discern that and strategize with that is very much a gift that the Capricorn energy has. So the other hand of that too is like you also when something's not working, and you know when it's time to cut your losses as well. And you have an understanding about what is considered a true failure versus something that is a product of the environment or the seed itself. So, for example, if you are an artist, and any of my creatives will know this regardless of like the medium of your art, there's always, in general, more ideas than there is time for execution and resources for certain things. And so you may actually end up starting a lot of things, but not finish them. And some stuff you do have to be able to say, like, you know what? These couple of particular types of work, I can see were just ways that I was exploring or developing a particular technique. But ultimately, this thing over here is the real work that I want to spend time with and actually see through to completion or fruition, right? That other work is not wasted, even though it either one is not finished or it is finished and it doesn't necessarily like, maybe it's like percent what you actually want it to be, but all it has value. But as you grow and have more time and experience in your artist journey, all of it has value and all of it has its place, and you get better and better at being able to recognize what's something that you can actually take to completion versus something that's actually just a place for you to practice or have like minimal kind of sense of fulfillment, etc. Right? And also you get a better sense of like where you actually want to profit more, where you want to develop more, where you want to have more abundance, where you want to have more expression, but what aspects of your artist journey you want to experience more or explore more of. Like you get that information. So with whatever you decide, Capricorn, in terms of where you are pursuing your dreams and your goals, and however you're aligning with your highest trajectory path in this life, you have the wisdom, you have the information, you have the expertise to know it's worth it. For long-term investment, you know what's worth it for practice, and you know what's worth it for letting go. So why is this important for you? One, I think you need the reminder that you do actually know what you're doing. And, because Capricorn likes to work hard and play hard, but it wants the return on its investment, right? It wants the ability to play hard because of results from the working hard. And if not getting the results that you desire, you may feel discouraged or you may start to question yourself. So please be affirmed that you do know what you're doing. And the further along you go, obviously, the bigger your goals are. So timelines, resources, etc., are going to be less, are going to be bigger. It is going to take more. And you can do it. And you have your history, like literally this cross section of the tree, as evidence of your prior success. Get some remaining guidance for you, and then we'll move on. Three of Wands, Ace of Swords, yeah. Your ships are coming in. But they're coming from a far off distance, so stay the course. Yeah, and there's a 10 of Pentacles underneath that. Apologies if you hear a noise, the people next door are vacuuming their car, so finishing up soon. All right, so Aquarius, you have the Justice card. So again, if you have rising sun, moon, north node, or Venus in Aquarius, this is the Venus in Aquarius message, or wherever Aquarius is in the chart. And this message is about, again, the areas of influence or protection to help tip the scales to light during this transit. So this is feeling like, I think I brought this up in a recent Oracle talks about how we always have 100% of our energy, attention, and focus. Um, and all really shifts is where certain focus is going. So when one part of our life is getting like 70% of our focus, energy, and attention, it takes a lot of us, right? And that leaves like 30% for other things. And that 70% may be something that's really important to us. And then if that 70% drops down to like, 30 because of life, we start to feel disabled, or not disabled, but disoriented, because we're like, oh, so much has been there because we've just been used to putting energy at a certain level over there, not realizing that, well, even though you dropped from 70 to 30, that 40% that you lost on somewhere else, or is distributed throughout the rest of the areas of life in your focus. And so, on a personal level within your own life, it's important to know that unless something has actually like been cut off, let go, etc. Excuse me. It is actually always getting energy, and that energy does fluctuate. And you can use that to your advantage to be intentional about where you put your focus, your attention, your resources, your activity. So if you want to increase the goodness in your life, if you want to increase the goodness in the world around you, you have to put more energy towards those things. When you scatter yourself, you scatter your energy. Now, it doesn't mean that progress isn't made. It's just that the pacing may be slower than what you may prefer, because it might be getting 10 or 20% rather than 70. And none of this is neither good nor bad. It's basically a way for you to essentially hack the way energy works. If you want something to kind of have more momentum, move faster, or take more precedence, you give more energy to it. If you want a lot of things to gradually progress over time, then as best as possible, because life is still life, you divide up your energy to those several things and have a slow momentum to get more things going over time, right? So at first, when it comes to, again, the light versus dark, if less energy is being focused on feeding the dark, it loses power, and you can instead shift that energy into building, strengthening, amplifying, expanding the light. It's not that the dark doesn't get dealt with, it does. But one of the tools of dealing with it is to starve it, to weaken it. And our priority, first and foremost, in my opinion, should be to build the new, or strengthen that which is already good, that is supportive, or help to propagate it, right? Because a lot of stuff actually is just distraction, and it's keeping us from being in that creative space, which is the building space. We don't leave time for dreaming new worlds. We don't leave time for putting work to assignments and initiatives, soul fires that are there for us. So Aquarius, this is your message. Use it how, as you want, but remember that it is fully under your control. Claire says, part of my North Node in Capricorn journey is realizing my pattern of giving up just for breakthrough results. That message resonates a lot. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for actually sharing that. I don't know many Capricorns, but the one I know, the ones I know are always like successful. So I don't really see folks not achieving things in my purview, but that would make sense as I guess a negative aspect of Capricorn of not actually being able to follow through, not actually being able to have success because they won't stay. Like they're in the mound part of the Capricorn versus like the mountain part of the Capricorn, and it takes a long time to develop the mountain. So yeah, that's actually very insightful. Thank you for that. I've never actually considered that. I usually think of the negative aspect of Capricorn as being like working too much and not actually, because that I have seen with people that I know or know of. That part I've seen, but yeah, it just never occurred to me that like, yeah, it might come up of not actually seeing things through to the end sometimes. But you know, this is why I love by proxy Saturn. I think Saturn is a gift, is because like if we stick with something for the long term and we show up in integrity and do what we're supposed to do, in the end we will get the reward. It's really hard. It'd be a really hard and long journey. But you know, Saturn as the associated ruler of justice and karma, as a planet, like it's bought and paid for through the work, and the work is what makes the way for you. So yeah. So I received that. Okay, moving on, last but certainly not least, Pisces. You got Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups for Pisces. Okay, so whereas for Cancer, it felt like more of a receiving and integration of energy to increase one's own personal light, Pisces is feeling like Pisces is feeling like helping to literally spread the light, like projecting that. No, I just get frustrated by lack of results. Well, yeah, I can see that. And giving out on something just to realize how close I was is humbling and annoying. Yes. Definitely, I feel that. Especially the cardinal sign. We don't get results. It's like, what? I'm doing the thing. I'm following the rules. Why is this not happening? That's, and I'll just say this as an aside, that's also a thing of like, a helpful reminder might be that if you're actually doing what you're supposed to be doing, and you're not getting the results, it's either one or two things are intimately combined. It's one is that it just needs more time, and or two, it's something actually outside of your control. And it's not that it won't work, but it's like until something in that external shifts, the way won't be made. And that is also frustrating and annoying too. Because it's like the will and the effort should be enough to make something happen. And what is this thing of things outside my control? All right. So, but yeah, Aquarius, not Aquarius, sorry, Pisces. what I'm really focusing on with this imagery is how this is just like straight up pouring out. Now I'm not, because I don't do martyr energy, especially for Pisces, because y'all like to martyr yourselves. I love you, but you do. This is not about you necessarily expending your energy and sending your light, although you can. But it's like you can use the power of prayer, you can use the power of the Holy Spirit, you can use the power of your creativity, et cetera, to send light, to amplify the good, to amplify support, dreams, goals, desires, both of yourself as well as other people. Right? Because you may already be doing that for yourself. So it may be helpful to be an inspiration for others. If you're not doing that for yourself, this is a call to do that for yourself. Put more of your energy and your light into that which makes you uniquely you. If you feel depleted, it's because you are not filling your own cup with you. This cup should be overflowing. You should be able to give and to give from a place and space of overflow to others. That is your natural state. But it's not your natural state if you're not taking care of your own cup. So you have to do that. So you have to tap into whatever that that mode of genius is for you. Because it's very unique. Let's see what else for y'all. Or any clarification of this. For the Capricorn folks, what I'm hearing is this Capricorn message will not leave, so I'm coming back to it. The question is, how badly do you want it? How badly do you want the thing that you say you desire? How badly do you want it? All right, so clarification for Pisces. We have the Death card, 5 of Pentacles, 6 of Swords, and the Hanged Man with the 7 of Pentacles on the bottom. Yeah, basically what I was saying. You got to fill your own cup, otherwise you get depleted. So you have to come back to your own sense of self. It's important to transform that relationship. It doesn't mean that everything is all like hunky-dory in your physical life, but this is the place where you have to start from, right? And it could be honestly just as simple as waiting to share, to give, to encourage that which is feeding you, however it's feeding you, okay? Until you've actually shifted into a place of overflow. And I know I could feel the resistance. It is difficult for you to not immediately go into, like, oh, I have this creative thing I want to share. Oh, I have this insight or something that I learned I want to share. Or, some music, some like a prayer, like whatever, right? That just benefited me, that helped me, some new like natural product or juice concoction that I come up with. Like it's whatever Pisces you've gotten your hand into. And immediately wanting to share that with others. It's a beautiful thing. I love it. And it's not don't share, but it is you haven't gotten the full treasure yet. Because to be clear, in this imagery, everything that's in the cup is not being shared. It's one spout out of everything that's there. So there has to be a shift in perspective here with that Hangman card. It can't be the blind leading the blind, or the not well leading the not well. Both parties who are struggling. It's literally these two people, to be clear. Everybody is supported and guided by spirit. I told you Pisces this a while, or like many times. Your archetype is associated with God, but you are not God. So it is not your job or your role to play God. Your job, if you want clarity about that, is to have your life be a testimony of the divine. It's your life that does the supporting, the inspiring. It's your life that does that. As a yin energy, people will come to you naturally because of that. Now, of course, you have to have boundaries, and that's a whole other thing, but you know. I'll leave you. I'll leave you alone, Pisces, because Saturn was already going through your sign, so I'm sure y'all are already going through it. So I won't badger you, because then we're gonna have the North Node going through your sign next. So I'm gonna leave you all alone. But it'll be the North Node, so it'll be good. It'll be some great energy. But I'll leave that as is. All right, let me get closing guidance. Get closing guidance. Any questions about anything that has come up? Just let me know in the comments. Also, if you would like to donate for this Oracle Talks or for this work overall, that information is there in the description of the YouTube video. It's also scrolling on the screen there. For folks on IG, you can click on the link in my bio and you can donate there. It is greatly appreciated. Even if you are not able to for a coaching contract or join the Lightworker Incubator, you can support the work, still support me by your donations. Closing guidance for Venus in Aquarius. Two of Swords. An Empress or Venus right on the bottom. So that is the message. The messages that came through are the messages that came through short and sweet. This is obviously just for this transit of Venus through Aquarius. So it's December 6th through January 2nd. So we have this month. We have a lot of supportive energy as well. Obviously, planets are going direct. I think we have direct. We have Mars going retrograde tomorrow, and Neptune is actually going direct. That's right. Of course, we have winter solstice coming up, and then after this transit, we're going to have lots of other big planetary changes. This time period is really important for encoding, both in encoding and imprinting, both in the spirit as well as in your own personal life. Your integration with and alignment with your highest ascension, time, the highest trajectory path. Okay. We always have these really key choice points, if you will, or timelines where, or time periods where we can go in a certain direction collectively or not, right? This is one of those times. Venus in Aquarius is a very, very special time. So whenever it shows up, like it is something that I recommend paying attention to, because it really is literally vibrating with that energy of just expansiveness. It's like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's ephemeral, it's celestial, it's life-giving, it's joyful. It's really beautiful energy. It's so different from other transit of Venus through a sign, as well as any other planet transit through a sign. Venus Aquarius is very special. So please don't take this as just like another transit and blow it off and be like, whatever. Like, it is a big deal. It happens, every year or so, but right now in particular, with the endings and beginnings that we are in currently, this is a big transition, so it's important. And so what is the guidance that has come through for each of us is simple but effective. Big changes, big decisions doesn't mean that necessarily we have to like completely overhaul our life. Like, it really will usually be just a very simple orientation, a very simple intention, a very simple action to take. And I love that because it means it's very accessible to everybody, regardless of circumstance, regardless of situation, regardless of context. That's how spirit works. Spirit is always going to meet us where we are and always going to be inching us further and further to deeper levels of communion with it. And we give thanks for that. So in mind, as you walk through these next couple of weeks, this important time period for us here in the Northern Hemisphere, obviously it's winter. So we get that additional help of feeling closer to spirit, which is nice. But please choose yourself. Please choose the best you can be. If you want to do like a daily track of yourself over this transit of, okay, based on the message that came through for the Zodiac sign, this is how I showed up, and really like make an accounting of it so it stays fresh in your mind, I do recommend that. As that message dropped in for right at the end for Capricorn, like, how badly do you want it? I think it's good to sit with that for this transit. How badly do you want the highest path for yourself? How badly do you want to reclaim your soul power? How badly do you want to have better, more healing relationships? How badly do you want to continue to pursue your dreams and your goals, even if at the moment you don't have them, or if they're taking a long time, or if you're frustrated with it? How badly do you want it? Because all that really needed, all that really is going to take is just you choosing to say yes every single day, to be like a tree that has been here for a long time, hundreds of years, maybe even thousands. Can you still show up every single day, regardless of circumstances, and say yes? Yes, I want this. Yes, I want more. Yes, I'm still going to take action to align my mind, align my heart, align my will, align my actions, align my spirit with the best that is possible for me and for all. That is our birthright. So reclaim it and walk that reclamation. All righty, so that is our message. Once again, enrollment is open for Lightworker Incubator, the upcoming cohort. So definitely check out the website for information on that. All program details are there. It is a 6-month small group It is small. Group coaching program. It is something that I've been running for the past several years. I highly recommend it as a way to reclaim your soul power, to accelerate your ascension process safely, and to be more equipped to integrate your spiritual power in your physical life and expand in that way. So check it out and apply. Enrollment is open through December 19th, so we only have 2 more weeks left, so please don't delay in doing so. And of course, if you have any questions, reach out to me. I am always available. You can shoot me a DM, send me an email, whatever works, or even comment below. It doesn't matter, okay? And yeah, I think that is it. Much gratitude and light to you and all who are here. Thank you, Courtney. Much appreciated. Love and light to you as well. Of course, please do like the video. It helps to spread this within the ecosystem, especially on IG. IG is currently like suppressing my stuff again because, you know, it is what it is. Please do share this. Please do like. Please do comment. Same thing on YouTube. Please subscribe to the channel. Please like. Please comment. If you haven't already, it does really help. And please share this with other people as well. And God willing, I will see you next time. I may actually jump on early next week. I have to see. I have been feeling that there's a lot of messages actually that are wanting to come through in preparation for the winter solstice in particular. This obviously was one of them, so I will spend time with Spirit, but you actually see me a lot more doing live, so just be on the lookout for that, okay? Thank you, Jynnette. You are welcome. All right, y'all. Love you much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Stay happy, healthy, and whole as best as you can. And like I said, God willing, I'll see you next time, okay? Bye.